Let me talk my shit again.
What it do? This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I'm your humbly hostile host, Cassius Cliff. At 4:25 today in Dallas, Fort Worth, going against the Dallas Cowboys in our Kelly Green jerseys, we have a huge opportunity in front of us. Not only do we get to shut up a lot of people when it comes to this team, this offense, the dysfunction circling this team, we get to put one of our bitter, hated, annoying rivals in the Dallas Cowboys in their rightful place and to bed for the remainder of the season. Because despite what people think after that Raiders game, despite what people think going up against our very team, that team is not good. Your record says who you are. You're talking about an 8-2 team with an offense that is anemic, lifeless, and uncreative versus the best offense in the league in the Dallas Cowboys with a middling defense, really a trash defense before Quentin Williams came up. And really, y'all beat up on the Raiders. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders are moved out of Vegas in the next 10 years because they are trash. But people after that game were thinking that this team can compete with us, even especially in their crib. Now, I understand what the record is when it comes to Dak Prescott and these Cowboys in their house going against the NFC East. But dare I say, that doesn't mean anything because the Dallas Cowboys are still the Dallas Cowboys in 2025. And in 2025, they are one of the worst teams in all of football. They have yet to be the team that was in the playoffs last year or even a team over 500. Y'all got blown out by the Bears, they're a playoff team. That's fine. But y'all got blown out by the fucking Cardinals. They're not going to the playoffs. That was with their backup quarterback. For everything that is said about Marvin Harrison Jr. and what he's done and what he hasn't done, he had DeRon Bland on skates on a slant route. Like, what? I understand the state of this country. The government just opened back up, but what the hell is going on out here? We got people thinking that these Cowboys are, with a possible victory today, have a chance to make the postseason. Excuse me? Like, I know there's a fentanyl epidemic, but it got to be bigger than that. Because that is absolutely insane. First and foremost, I mean, look at our defense. In a game in which we had 5 batted passes, this was the first one that led to an interception on the first drive of the game. This defense has been elite over the last 2 weeks. I mean, again, the only tie that the Dallas Cowboys have, which to me, when you have a tie on your record, not only are you not good enough to win, you don't have the guts to lose. Because there's a lot that could be gained from losing. And obviously, I'm trying to be funny here, but like, the Cowboys are trash and they're gutless. You don't have the courage to lose a game in a shootout. To make it dramatic, you ended in a tie. We could have went without that game. We could throw that game away because nobody gained anything from that. Green Bay Packers or the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all both are not in position to make playoff pushes. And when you have a guy like Jordan Davis, who clearly has taken a step forward this year, being named Special Teams Player of the Week, going against the Rams, and then fast forward to last week, Defensive Player of the Week against the Detroit Lions, the team that averages 30 points a game. I'm supposed to be fearful of the Dallas Cowboys and what they do, and we already beat them in week 1 when our defense was not even as good. Just keep the clips going because there's been no better in-season acquisition in Howard Roseman's career and really no better trade deadline acquisition, in-season acquisition this year in general, other than Jalen Phillips. I mean, yesterday, in last week's game, 5 tackles, a sack, 2 QB hits, a tackle for loss. This guy has been like, I know a lot of people seen the movie Crank. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, like, Jalen Phillips is like a sensu being for this defense. We are back. We're back to the level in which we were at when we won the Super Bowl. This defense has been elite. There's no fear when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and their offense. George Pickens, he's good. CeeDee Lamb is good. Dak Prescott, we know who you are, and you're not good when when the lights are bright. You're not good. That's just what it is. I don't care if you're at home or not. He does not show up when you need him to, and they're gonna need him to show up today to compete in this game, to make a playoff push, Dak Prescott's going to have to be great. And that's where he falls flat on his face. He falls flat on his face the most. There's just no way around that. JP has been a huge addition to this defense, a great injection to this defense when it comes down to being elite and ultimately being one of the best over the course of the last 2 weeks. You can't say that without mentioning Codeine Crazy Nakobe Dean. Because in his game going against the Detroit Lions, 3 tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss, and then three coverage snaps against Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs in this game against our Eagles, he led all receivers in receiving yards with over 100. And that's a running back. So clearly, it is very hard to guard this guy out of the backfield. And then 3 targets going against Nakobe Dean, 0 catches. I mean, we know we got in Zach Bond. We know that Jahad Campbell is a Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate. But having Nakobe Dean back in this defense, you're talking about the best linebacker crew in all of football. All 3 linebackers are great against the run. They can create pressure on the quarterback, get sacks, as well as cover tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. That is a huge piece for this defense, and that's why I think we've seen our defense perform the way that it has. Because with guys like Jalen Phillips being added to this defense, Nakobe Dean being back from injury, how else do you get 5 stops on 4th down against a team that averages 30 points a game? I knew our defense looked really good against the Green Bay Packers, even though I had little to no faith in Jordan Love and what he does, especially when there's not a lot of talent in that receiver room. But I knew it was going to be a tall task to hold this team under 20 points. And our defense did way better than that. It didn't matter if it was the middle of the field. It didn't matter if it was the red zone. Getting 5 stops on 4th down is not easy in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter if it's real life. And it doesn't matter if it's a Madden, like the way that Dan Campbell coaches. He coaches like as if he's coaching a Madden game. And not only do I respect that, that's how I do it when I play Madden. But I understand it's just a game. Dan Campbell's doing this shit in real life. So he's completely nuts. And yes, you want nut jobs on your coaching staff as well as on your roster. But that was some nut ass shit to do. And the Eagles made him pay for it. 5 attempts on 4th down, 0 conversions. Obviously, there was unwise by Dan Campbell, but that was big play by the defense. And ultimately, Vic Fangio being the maestro that he is on defense. None of those things happen without our defensive coordinator and our defense playing lights out and the guys showing up when they need to. When you're talking about guys showing up when they need to, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this guy because I've asked for him to be benched. I've asked for his jersey to be snatched off his body. I've asked for him to be cut from the team. Adoree Jackson, on one-on-one coverage, when you hear the beginning of that sentence, you expect bad things to happen, and that's been the majority of the season. But for him to be one-on-one coverage against St. Brown, one of the best slot receivers in all of football, and strapping them on 3rd down, which obviously led to us stopping them every time on 4th down, you got to give your love to him. And ultimately, he's finally getting a hang of this defense. And when you are creating pressure on the quarterback, even guys like Adoree Jackson can be hidden and ultimately not being shown as a liability. If you have issues at a cornerback position and issues in coverage, got to be able to create pressure. And that's what we did all night against Jared Goff. We had him seeing ghosts. We had him remembering who he actually is. And this is a guy that a lot of people have respect for. I don't get it because I've seen this guy throw 5 interceptions in one game and the team still win. That's the kind of shit to say about Jalen Hurts, as if the defense carries, the offensive line carries. That's what Jared Goff is. If you could throw 5 interceptions in the game and still win, you're not the reason why they win. Maybe my opinion. I think that's factual. But moving on to the other side of the ball, because we clearly got to talk about these guys. You don't get a 16-9 victory without the offense doing what it needs to do at the optimal time, the most important times. And unfortunately for our offense, this shit is it's horrible to watch. It's ugly. It's not fun watching our team play offense. And yes, I'm here with my Jalen Hurts jersey on, and I have the utmost faith in QB1. My man is he's playing spades with a lot of face cards, and a lot of them are numbers. Not even face cards. He's playing with a lot of numbers, and they're not spades numbers. You're talking about 10 of diamonds, 9 of hearts, 8 of clubs. Like, he's not playing with a lot. And it's funny to say that because when you look at these 2 plays, These two plays by Jahan Dotson are one in the Detroit Lions game and one in this Dallas Cowboys game in Week 1. Both of these plays are the biggest plays of both games, respectively. So, 34 yards by Jahan Dotson out of the pocket by Jalen Hurts. 51 yards here against the Dallas Cowboys Week 1 by Jahan Dotson again. Those are the biggest plays in those games. And you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and Saquon Barkley healthy in the lineup. Does that speak to the offensive line being trash? Very likely. Does that speak to Kevin Patullo not knowing how to do his job? Absolutely. And really and truly, the scheme is just not good. This is the offense in a nutshell, or to speak like a truly Philly native, this is some nut-ass offense. This is some nut-ass shit right here. Why on God's green earth is Dallas Goedert and A.J. Brown occupying the same space, and Dallas Goedert intersecting A.J. Brown, and this resulting in an incompletion? Because the spacing, the scheming, the route combinations are piss poor. In this game alone, this is the most targets that A.J. Brown ever got in his career, and really the most targets he got all season. 12 targets, 7 catches for a whopping 49 yards. Is A.J. Brown the same player? I think so. Is he being schemed open? Absolutely not. Is the offensive line playing well? No. There's several things wrong with this offense, and this right here, I think, details and shows simply what's going on here. It's just coaching malpractice, and the offensive line and the offensive coordinator are doing the offense in general zero favors. Stadium, I get what the offenses look like the past 2 weeks. Despite what the offenses look in the past 2 weeks, we have a combined win margin of 10 points against the Packers and the Lions. These are two teams that are better than the Dallas Cowboys astronomically. And when it comes down to it, what do I have more faith in? Our defense or the Dallas Cowboys offense? Or vice versa? Both sides, both units compared to both units. I'm going to take the pedigree. I'm going to take the better team in its entirety. And the Eagles are a better team than the Dallas Cowboys. Aside from that, there's no faker demon in the NFL than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they beat on all the trash teams, and when it comes down to when they need to play a good team with a good defense, you see games like the Cardinals game. You see games like the Chicago Bears game. 2 games in which they cannot score 20 points, and the game is over early. And Dak Prescott has several turnovers. I got respect for CD. I got respect for George Pickens, but I know exactly who Dak Prescott is. And this is the guy that said, if he's in a bear fight, pour honey on me. Not only are you corny, you're just not that guy. We are a bunch of guys on our team. We just waiting to see it, and really to see a complete game by the offense and the defense. There's been one game in which we saw that, and that was in the New York Giants game. And to me, that's not a good indication of what the team should look like. The Giants are trash, much like the Raiders. So we have a great opportunity in front of us, not only to remind the league of who the Philadelphia Eagles are, we could put all this Cowboy shit to bed and end their season today. And I can't wait. If you have not done so already, please like, share, subscribe, and comment to go the long way. Thank you in advance. This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. We out to the next one. Peace.